Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Tuesday, August 19, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 18-year-old charged for allegedly breaking into and stealing from Hanover School. The Hanover police have charged the 18-year-old Nicholas Kerr, otherwise called AJ, of Prosper District in Lucy for allegedly breaking into and stealing from a school in September 2024. Kerr has been charged with housebreaking and larceny of a school. Reports from the Lucy police are that about 9:10 p.m. on the day in question, a man on duty as a security guard at the institution heard noises coming from the building and went to investigate. According to the police, the guard reportedly saw two men on the roof. Following the incident, the security guard and other school officials conducted an assessment during which they discovered that entry had been gained by removing several window blades. Further checks revealed that food items, drinks, and a table were stolen. A report was made to the police and an investigation launched. During the investigation, CCTV footage from the building was reviewed and Kerr was allegedly identified as one of the men involved in the break-in. He later turned himself in to the police on Thursday, August 14. Kerr was charged after being interviewed by investigators. His court date has not yet been finalized. His alleged accomplice is still being sought by the police. Mother of man fatally shot after fleeing KPH wants answers. Sashina Lewis, the mother of the man who was fatally shot by the security forces last week after fleeing the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was under mental health watch, is seeking answers from the authorities. Lewis says the situation has left her and her family sad and distressed. She told the news that her son was restrained by friends and brought to the KPH last Tuesday. Shortly after 5 a.m. the next day, she said she received a call from KPH informing her that he had escaped. She later received another call, this time from the police, stating that he had injured a nurse with a pair of scissors before fleeing the hospital. Lewis said she launched an urgent search before eventually learning that her son had been fatally shot. It is reported that Mr. Edwards was initially shot by a police officer and he fell with a bandaged scissors in his hand. It is also reported that Mr. Edwards ran away and was later confronted by soldiers. The soldiers, it is reported, felt threatened as Mr. Edwards was still armed with the bandaged scissors, and at least one member of the team fired at him, reported the Independent Commission of Investigations, the body which probes criminal misconduct by the security forces. The shooting occurred on the compound of All Saints Church on West Street in downtown Kingston. On Monday, however, Lewis said her New Haven Duhaney Park community has been very supportive of her and that she must remain strong for her family. I just want to hold strong because I have my daughter and I have to keep my head strong, she said, recounting how her son started acting strangely after returning from a party. I just thought he needed to detox and get some rest because he was drinking hard. I never had any mad son, she said. I don't think he took anything. I just feel it was the liquor, said the despondent mother, alleging that the information surrounding her son's death is mostly hidden and she is unsure what to believe. Edwards added to a list of 7 presumed mentally ill persons fatally shot and 4 non-fatally shot by the security forces since the start of the year. Last year, 10 persons were fatally shot, while there were 11 non-fatal encounters involving mentally ill individuals. The security forces must assess their own training and reflect on the instructions given in such confrontations with regard to the necessary and the proportionality of their use of deadly force in such encounters, said Indicom, noting that international best practices promote a tactic of de-escalation utilizing distance, cover, and time, which also protects the security forces. Motorist escaped a serious injury following crash on Mandela Highway. A motorist escaped a serious injury after his Toyota RAV4 motor vehicle overturned on the Mandela Highway Monday afternoon in the vicinity of Hydel High School. Senior Superintendent Damon Manderson, commanding officer for the St. Andrews South Division, told the news that the driver has not sustained any injury but has been taken to the hospital for a routine checkup. He further noted that the speed was not a reason for the accident. It is nothing too serious in terms of the outcome. Apparently, he was traveling in a westerly direction. He seemingly lost consciousness and then the car swerved, hitting the embankment and overturned. From the eyewitness account, he wasn't speeding or anything. It gives a credence to the fact that he might have passed out or fell asleep, as the case might be. We are grateful because based on the wreckage here, it could have been a whole lot worse. I want to notice something, that he was wearing his seatbelt, and the possibility is that if he wasn't, he would have been flung from the vehicle, Manderson said. He is now cautioning motorists to exercise caution on the roadways, especially during the campaign season. Today itself is crazy. We have now entered the political season with a nomination day, and you see some of the recklessness with the persons being on windows, the speeding and reckless use of the road. We are saying to motorists, tone it down. It is best to get there late than any at all. When it comes on to safety gears, we are saying wear your seatbelt, wear your helmet. This is something the police shouldn't have to force people. It is for your safety. Today again, I say, is a witness of that, and I do believe that that helped to save his life, Manderson added. Mamadi eyes a bigger victory in Trelawney Southern. PNP's Pat Moore insists he will unseat a veteran MP. Jamaica Labour Party candidate for Trelawney Southern, Marissa Mamadi Dalrymple Philibert, is projecting an even larger margin of victory in the September 3 general election, extending her streak of decisive wins over the last 5 polls. At the same time, her People's National Party opponent, Paul Patmore, says his nomination signals the beginning of the end of Dalrymple Philibert's nearly 2-decade hold on the seat. Dalrymple Philibert first captured the seat in 2011, securing 6,260 votes to the People's National Party's Lindell Frater, who received 4,735. That has fueled her confidence as she takes on Pat Moore, a businessman and a former independent councillor for the Lorimers division. Up to the 2 p.m. deadline on Monday, an independent candidate, Paul Cunningham, who was scheduled to be nominated at 11:05 a.m., had not shown up. Speaking with the news after being nominated in Albertown on Monday, Dalrymple Philibert remained upbeat despite a concern about disinterested voters. There's been a lot of voter apathy. There are some people who have not come out to vote for one reason or the other, but I expected to increase the margin of victory, she said. I can assure my Prime Minister that he can tick off South Trelawney because it belongs to him, the seasoned politician added confidently. She credits her optimism to, among other factors, an enthusiastic turnout of supporters at the nomination center in Albertown, her substantive performance since 2011, and the surge of positive reactions since Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the election date. I have gotten so many calls from people I haven't spoken to for a long time, for years. As soon as the Prime Minister announced the date, everybody says, "We are coming home, Miss D. We are coming home, Mama." And to be very honest, I expected to increase the margin because what I have done as a Member of Parliament has been empowering. I have been empowered to do so for the people by the administration led by Andrew Holness, Dalrymple Philibert said. She outlined what she described as major gains under her stewardship, pointing to advances in education, health care, farming, water and infrastructure. She noted that the constituency now has 2 hard NST Trust Institutes, producing several graduates, and stressed that education remains a priority as a tool of empowerment. In health care, she said she has channeled millions of government funds into MRIs, CAT scans, surgeries, and other medical support for constituents. For his part, Patmore, known for establishing a water supply system, described his nomination as the most definitive ever within the constituency. Right now, we have the mother of all nominations happening today in South Trelawney, so we're gonna leave Albertown and we're gonna head back to our base in Low River at the Paul Patmore Water Square, where we'll be celebrating victory and at the end of Marisa Dalrymple until 6 o'clock this evening, Patmore said on Monday. This is the celebration. It is the beginning of the end of Marisa Dalrymple in South Trelawney after 20 years, he added. Thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.